So you've decided to go into our business and sell your house on your own. And we wish you all the best.
All the best.
Just like the rest of our competition. We do. So you have decided to hang your shingle, and apparently you have well versed yourself in all of the regulations and contractual obligations and disclosure requirements. And we want to emphasize that, disclosure requirements that you as the seller need to make. But the biggest reason, because you've not thought of any of that, so the biggest reason you want to do this is you don't want to pay us. So you want to save all of that because you want to put it in your pocket. And we admire that. We understand that 100%. But what you don't understand is what it's actually costing you. Not just during the sale, but down the road on things you have not thought of to sell that home on your own.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Bruce and Josh Show. So we've proven time and time again that we are well worth the money we charge. And statistics show that realtor assisted sales net you 17% more than unassisted. So you're basically saying that you want to lose 17% just because you want to save the commission fee.
And let's be clear, so you all know it's somewhere, there's no set amount, but it's somewhere, depending on the property, 4, 5, 6%. If it's land, it might be 8%, 10%, but somewhere on a house, 4 to 6%, somewhere on land, 8 to 10% commercial, but you're still losing a lot of money in order to try to save a little bit.
So the main reason you need us is because we do things that you're just not gonna do. I mean, our marketing budget is not your marketing budget because you can take a few pictures with your cell phone. We go in with a professional photographer, a professional videographer, a 3D scan of your house, and we are the professionals at this. This is our full-time job of marketing your property. So we know how to write about your property. We know how to disseminate it to all the different websites. We know how to reach the client base of who's gonna come in and look at your property. And that's just that side of it, When it actually goes under contract, we are very well versed in negotiating the deal, whereas, maybe you've sold one of your houses before, but we do this hundreds of times a year, so we are very well versed in negotiating.
And so Josh has hinted on the even after it goes under contract, and what he said is 100% true. But let's even back up from there. Before it goes under contract, you put your house out on the market. So it's pretty easy to understand that adversarial type relationships don't typically tend to make the best results. So you have your house listed for sale by owner, and a buyer and their agent knock on the front door and are ready to come in. So first off, you've already violated the first rule that we have for all of you, and that is that you should never be home when the buyer looks at your house. But here you are. They have rung your doorbell and they're knocking on the door. Their agent, let me re-stress that, their agent and the buyer are now at the door, and they walk in, and here you are. And they cannot feel at home. They will never feel at home because you're standing there. Right. So you're going to show them around the house. You're going to tell them all the things you think they want to know about your house. They're never going to be able to feel like they comfortably can open closet doors and kitchen cabinets and that they can kick the tires, so to speak. They can't talk amongst themselves, much less with their own agent.
And even if they do start talking amongst themselves, the second they mention that your paint color is ugly, you're gonna get offended, and that paint color is not gonna keep the house from selling. But because you're offended, you might not take their offer.
That's right. And so there's a reason that third-party negotiation always works best, because it takes the emotion out of the picture, because they have opposing agendas. The buyer wants to buy the house for the least possible and the least amount of cost and the least amount of issues, and they want everything fixed. And the seller wants to sell the house for the most amount possible with the least amount of cost, and they don't want to fix anything. And that's just normal and natural, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to somehow get from the buyer's perspective to the seller perspective, and that chasm between the two, that's our value. That's what you're paying us for.
All right, well, remember to like this video, comment if you have any questions, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media. We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week.